Well, everybody say, Big Pontiac. We want Big Pontiac. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Where's everything at? Here we go. All right, let's get it started. To the east, to the north, to the west, and to the south, above, below, and the center. All right. Send out some of them high vibration. All right. Giving those high vibrations. Let me move everything around like that there. And we'll be taking that. Put that right there for right this second. And we can. So, let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right, give me a little room. All right, looks like we are in business. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Or in some cases, yeah, in the East, it's morning. For y'all in the East, I go by the name of Big Pontiac, and this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. And I still am always that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to this galactic patio that goes from Big Eagle Hill to the universe. And tonight's featured beer, as most nights, is Elliott Nest Great Lakes. So pop 'em if you got 'em. And again, the beer is nothing without the perfect glass. Look at that amber brown ale richness. And it just makes you want to wish that you could be me right now. You just wish you could be me right now. You wish you could be me right now and having this amber ale in this George Kelly and Irish Red cup. And as always, we are featuring the unicorn Luca. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let that percolate. Let that percolate. Soleil, what's up in here? No comprendo. What is happening? Thank you for joining. Lorenzo, what's going on? PJ Allen, what's happening? Let me ask you a question. What the hell's going on in Minnesota with y'all Timberwolves? Well, in a second, we're going to have to look that up. We got to look that up. We got to look that up. And let's shut me up. There we go. There we go. I'll tell you that. I guess we can start off with it. we can start off with it and try to wonder what the hell is going on.
Kiss his ass way too much. Don't tell me focus. What is wrong with y'all? I got a decision to make this time. What is wrong with y'all right now?
This is really freaking bad. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen something like this before. I mean, I have seen fights occur in the middle of games before, but not when the stakes were this big in a very pivotal game that could determine the team's seeding and the standings going into the playoffs. So before we get to the content, this video is definitely going to get demonetized. So if you could take a minute to leave a like to help push us in the algorithm, that'd be really much appreciated. And on a different note, I wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for 700,000 season. This was officially the Timberwolves. This
Mm. Let it go. Ads.
with a couple of eyebrow raises, then there was a lot of people feeling conflicted about this deal. From the get-go, I thought this was a huge overpay by the Minnesota Timberwolves, primarily because Rudy Gobert might have a few years left in the tank. He also is getting paid a significant amount of money for being a center that doesn't necessarily fit into modern NBA offenses. But at the exact same time, you're giving up 4 future first-round picks, the 8-seeder. In a completely separate game, you saw Mason Plumlee and Bones Highland, 2 new additions during the trade deadline for the Clippers. They got into it on the bench for the Los Angeles Clippers in a very important game for the Los Angeles Clippers as well. But in the same exact game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New Orleans Pelicans, you would later on see Jaden McDaniels fracturing his hand by punching a wall. To be honest, I've made this mistake many a times. You think it's a good idea. It's never a good idea. Your hand never goes through the wall. You never pull out your hand and say, oh, I didn't feel like nothing happened to me. Every time it happens, you fracture your hand. Never try to punch a hole in the wall. So the result of this was Rudy Gobert would get sent home by the Minnesota Timberwolves after throwing a punch at Kyle Anderson. And Shams Charania reported that he would be
Off
out for
team.
the remainder of the game. Wildly enough, the game between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Minnesota Timberwolves would actually go down to the wire without both Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. So you might be wondering what instigated this fight to begin with. And to be honest, it's a huge reason why it took us so long to get you this video, because I myself very much am interested in knowing the backstories of these events, and it seemed like we were rewarded for our patience, because according to Adrian Wojnarowski, this is what apparently went down. Minnesota's Rudy Gobert escalated a verbal argument into a physical encounter after Kyle Anderson told him to shut the fuck up, bitch.
Fair use. Fair use.
Yeah, he pretty much pulled one of those. The disagreement started with Anderson telling Gobert to block some shots. Gobert told him to grab a rebound, and it ended with a punch and Gobert getting sent home. I really think that Rudy Gobert's contract and the amount that the Timberwolves gave up to get him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we saw. That's what we saw this morning, and Rudy is not worth what they gave up for him. It is one of the worst trades in the NBA history, and it makes no sense. This had to be staged. I don't know. They want them. They want all the publicity they can get, but I don't know. Stage, it could be. It could be. But it seems like bad timing all the way around. Just seems like bad timing. Okay. The sound is low. All right. Yeah, I'm hitting most of the peaks here. Okay. Hope it's sounding better. Self-sabotage, yeah. Self-sabotage could be it too. That could be it too. So it's kind of hard kind of hard to figure out. Let's see. Yeah, maybe here. What's going on? Yeah, about here should be better. Yeah, that should be better. All right. There we go. Well, try. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Then he fighting words when I am from. Exactly. 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 Somebody say that to any man. A man is gonna want to fight him. So yeah. Uh I mean that's why they got rid of D'Angelo Russell. Russell was giving it to him. Russell was telling how sorry Rudy was and that Rudy wasn't performing because he didn't fit in. I mean, it was the same mistake they made with trying to bring Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon together. It was a waste of a pick. To pick the same player 2 years in a row made no sense. So, yeah. So we'll see. It just makes me wonder what they have in store for the Timberwolves. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see what they have in store. We'll see when this play-in game. The play-in game starts tomorrow, doesn't it? Aren't the play-in games tomorrow? We'll see how those games go, and I don't know, guys. I just don't know if I just don't know if they're going to let the Timberwolves turn the corner or not. And with all the other competition in the West, I would just say the odds. And if we looked at the odds for the Timberwolves to make it, it can't be very high. It just can't be. But yeah, that's what was going on today. And I hope everybody got to enjoy their family, whichever way you did it. I hope everyone got to enjoy their family. Here the weather was very nice, and I hope everybody, however you chose today. I tell you what's surprising is all the stores that was closed. I mean, it was quite surprising. Now, of course, where I get my edibles, he wasn't closed because he's Arab brother. Um, and I want to for Jody Stallworth, I want to send out some healing energy to Jody. I know Jody's daughter has been sick, and let's all send some positive energy out to her. Yeah, let's send some positive energy out to her because I know how the attacks are and how vulnerable you feel in that situation. So, love to you for sure, Jody. Love to you. Um, yeah, there's So yeah, it was a chill day for me. Very chill day. Spent time with family all day. Spent time with my 82-year-old mother and my fiance's family. Got to take I was telling you last night, got to take the basket to my daughter, so I got to spend a little time with her. Got to set up, tomorrow because we have baton tomorrow, and I just pick her up from school because her school is only about 15 minutes away from me. Her home is about 20-25 minutes away from me, so it's quicker to go. I live closer to the school than I do to her home. So yeah, that's what we're gonna. So that's what why would you do this when playoffs start in 2 days? That's another thing. And I mean, again, the worst he's going to get is fine. He's going to get fined, but I doubt it's going to stop him from playing. I doubt it's going to stop him from playing at all. So, yeah, positive energy. Yeah. And we hope that her daughter gets well as well. And so it's hard enough. And so she's an ally that we send positive energy and love to. So, Miss Jody Stallworth, and if you haven't seen her video or you're not subscribed to her and know her story, look it up. And then if you have any positive thoughts and you feel that she's worthy of it, it doesn't hurt to have that thought. It doesn't hurt to have that thought at all. So, I do want to say something today. Want to bring something up. I'm going to have a new I'm going to have a new campaign, and the campaign is to put Big Pontiac in a Mitsubishi Mirage. So I'm asking everybody to donate whatever you can to get me in this $18,000 Mitsubishi Mirage because I just can't get the Mirage out of my mind. I would look so good. So if anybody wants to donate to the Mitsubishi Mirage, I would I would thank you very much. I would put like a sticker or something of your contribution somewhere in the car. And so if you guys would like to see me styling in the Mitsubishi Mirage, please donate. See, you could that would be me right there wearing my hat and wearing my fine threads and my fiance right there. Wouldn't we look good in that Mitsubishi Mirage? Look at it. Oh, I could get some rims. Look at this. I could get some rims on it, y'all. Oh no, ZVTE. Look at this, all this trim I could get. Look at this. Oh, now come on. You guys know I would be looking super good. I don't think it's that one. Maybe. The one I'm looking at is it a 5-speed? But look at that. No, this is not it. It's not it. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's more like this. Yeah, it's more this one. See, look at that, guys. I would have my 7-inch screen. I don't know what that is. Look at the shift. I don't know how far the seat's gonna go back because I'm a pretty big guy. But still, guys, I would be proud. Me and my fiance driving, we would have something like this, like the Christmas tree. And, beep, 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 beep. You guys would love it. So if anything you think about your guy, let me know. If anything, you can email me. My email is always known. You can email me and you want to see the campaign is going to say, let's see Big Pontiac in a Mitsubishi Mirage. Or Mitsubishi, call me and I'll make commercials for your Mirage. You can give me a Mirage and I'll drive it everywhere, except in the wintertime. My neck of the woods, the weather is chilly. Oh man, it's nice out here, man. What is it right now? It was nice. It was nice. I mean, still jeans and shirts, but I mean, I've been wearing this shirt all day, jeans and a shirt. But what's the weather? But the weather is right now. I mean, the heat didn't come on but one time last night, so the heater stayed off. Uh, and it is 55 beautiful degrees. It was a high of 66 today. Went very windy, and it's going to be dang near 70 tomorrow, and I'm probably going to play pickleball. So we're going to enjoy some beautiful weather. It's going to be 81 by Wednesday, and we will probably be surfing here on the Mississippi River. I didn't know y'all didn't know we could surf on the Mississippi River. And there's alligators on the Mississippi River too, so come up here and you being foul, we got a place to take you. Them alligators, you know what the alligators do? They freeze in the wintertime. They be like in the river and shit, and they'll find a nice spot and they just freeze. And then when the weather gets better, they unfreeze. Like turtles and frogs. uh yeah, so it's nice here for this time of year. When we get 80, it's going to seem like summertime for us. We haven't had a day. Matter of fact, this is the first day we've had this second, like the last couple of days have been the first over 50 days we've had since last October. So these last couple of days over 50 was the first 50 days we've had since October. So that's telling you, we've had a good solid 6-7 months of winter. So, CWE, what's happening? They look similar the way Lincoln made those Zuzu joints, IDD joints at one point. Yeah, kinda. 47 games this season. The 40K Alonzo. KD has only played in 47 games this season. The 47th problem of Euclid is a perfect Freemasonry symbol, published by the 1723 in Anderson's this Constitution. 2023 is the 300th year anniversary. What did Jeffrey send me? Let me get this. I don't know if I can show it, but I can damn near talk about it. Because I don't know how to put it over here because I'm not putting any of this Facebook bullshit on my computer. I don't trust Facebook having any access. My phone encryption stronger than the computer. But yeah, Jeffrey sent me, and I'll read it. Might be able to find it. This was really interesting. Some really interesting shit, and I know I could find it. Um, this is on YouTube, I guess. But the dude who, so basically, what the article is saying is, and I guess who is this under? Let me check it out. Who is this under? I can bring it up. Oh, yeah, I can bring this up. Um, and I'd like you guys to hear a little bit of this. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Okay. What is? Okay, I can. Okay. Oh. What's this? RCEPTION. All right. This is worth listening to, and we're gonna thank Brother Jeffrey for giving us this. And you'll recognize the players.
Of California, Riverside. He will be majoring in neuroscience. His goals are to become a researcher and to make scientific discoveries.
And a major way humans learn is through action and effect relationships. And to simulate this on a computer, we have a key press as an action, and effect is the appearance of an image. And actions and effects have logical progressions through time. That is, effects proceed or seem simultaneous with the actions that cause them, unless we have a temporal order judgment reversal, which I just call the illusion. And in the illusion, the effect seems to precede the action that it causes. So subjectively, you're causing events to happen in the past. And to implement this illusion, we insert a series of gradual delays.
Do you dig what he's saying? Do you really dig what he's trying to tell you? Temporal order judgment reversal. No, what do we say? This is a reality generating. We know the can become a reality generator, and he's trying to tell you that it's this illusion that that things that you can do now can affect the past as well as affect the future. But I'll let them tell it.
Delays in between the actions and the effects. So we'd have a key press and then a 10 millisecond delay and then an image appearing, and then a key press and then 20 millisecond, and then an image appears, and we keep doing this over and over again. And it would increase up to around 200 milliseconds. And we do this gradual delay incrementations to adapt the person to modify their perception of time. And then after we modify their perception of time, we completely remove the delay, and this causes the time illusion.
Oops. Who is this? Oops. Who is this? Oops.
And in the illusion, the effect seems to precede the action that it causes. So subjectively, you're causing events to happen in the past.
Let's read this. Holmes. In 2011, Holmes enrolls a PhD student in the neuroscience at University of Colorado, Anschutz Medical Campus. He received a $21,000 grant from the National Institute of Health, according to records, which was distributed in installments from July 11th to June 12th. So do you think he was an accident? You think he was an accident? We see some of this kind of stuff that when the Manchurian can or Sirhan. We see a little bit of this kind of thing, but the wind is a erosion. Look at his fractals. Modulation of illusory, reversal, and tactile temporal order by the phase of a posterior rhythm. The study of perception of chronoception is a field of psychology, cognitive linguistics, and neuroscience that refers to subjective experience. Uh, that's worth reading. Let's see if I can bring that back up. Here we go. The study, okay. Where was I? The study of perception or chronoception is a field with psychology, cognitive linguistics, and neuroscience that refers to the subjective experience or sense of time, which is measured by someone's perception of the duration of the indefinite and unfolding of events. The perceived time interval between successive events is referred to as perceived duration. Through directly experience or understanding another person's perception of time is not possible. Perception can be objectively studied and inferred through another scientific experience. Some temporal illusions help explore the underlying neural mechanism of time perception. And when we talk about illusion, we're talking about the mind. So thank you, Brother Jeffrey, for giving us that. That is very informative. And there's several things that this brother talks about that is very informative. So thank you, Brother Jeffrey. I appreciate it. Who are we? I have stuff for the 76ers too. Okay. CWE laying on us. That's God expected from He's sheep here at the great Ebenezer New Revival Tree of Life Institute, Double Rock on the side of the road to Jericho Missionary Baptist Church. James Lucifer, Wooten, Red Wolf, what is happening? There we go. Thank you for joining. James Holmes. Suns coach Monty was on 113th all-time losses with the Suns, but obviously lost after KD sat the last two games. You think NBA can rig it for the Lakers? I don't think so. It'd be mighty. Like you look at, look at as a business and look at it as how can you perceive and push this business and not make it look like the way Tom Brady with the Atlanta Falcons. Because I don't think they really want to keep making that kind of mistake to make it look so obvious. You know, you keep calling plays where you keep going backwards and backwards when all you had to do is run the ball and kick a field goal to win the game. So can they do it? Yes. Would it be believable? I don't think so. I don't think it would be very believable if they did go. At this time, they don't, have a great team. They have a team good enough, but we don't know if it's gonna go over the top or not. So I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they can. I don't think they can fix it for them this year. I think they're gonna make a trade to get rid of Anthony Davis to bring in some different help in some kind of way in a year or so, so LeBron can play with his son. Big P, read the one before. Good decoding. I'm looking at the Suns to come out the West. Okay. You're looking at the Suns to come out the West. They came out last year, so I wouldn't be surprised they came out again. Yeah. The Suns coming out. I tell you, I wonder if the replay of because Sacramento hasn't made it, right? The Kings have not made it to the finals. Not as the Kings. Maybe what was they called? What were they called? Let me see. They were Cincinnati. They were the Syracuse Nationals, I think they were called at first. They might have won it, but they have not won it as the Kings. Royals, because Royals, Kings, they haven't won it since then. And when the Sacramento, well, let me see. I'm trying to think who was because the Buffalo franchise is still exists, but it exists in another name. They played in Buffalo. So I'm trying to remember which one is which. So will they let Sanford? I think they're gonna let I think they're going to let the Lakers rest. Because that's when a lot of times when you don't go deep in the playoffs and you got major players, that seems to be sometimes what they do is they let them rest by taking them out. So I don't know. I just don't get that feeling that they're going to let them get that this year. Now, I could always, I could be wrong, but I just don't feel for them. The Suns, the Suns are they're very marketable. All the players are very marketable. There's a lot of eyes on them, but again, they haven't won it. Now, could we get a replay of 74 with the Suns and the Celtics? Remember that one where Guy Hurd ties the game? But the Celtics and Havlicek end up winning the series anyway? Because Paul Westfield, who later coached, was playing in that game, and then he later won a championship with the Celtics. So we could see that. We could see that the Suns and the Celtics again be a repeat of 74, which is, people look back at it, looking at the guy, the guard, Gar. His name was Gar, Gar, Gar Hurd. He shoots. Matter of fact, Gar Hurd might have won a championship with the Lakers with Wilt in 72. I think he was on that 72 team. Unless that was me. No, I think Hurd was were a low number with, I don't know. Have to look Hurd up. So the Warriors came out the West last year. Remember, they won it. Yep, this was 21 when the Suns came out the West. That was 21. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. They did come out in 21. I'm old man and y'all. You are absolutely right. They came out in 21. Thank you, Lorenzo. You are absolutely right. So yeah, so it's very possible. I can see that. This a replay of 74, the Suns and Celtics. Now, let's say Suns and Sixers really haven't had that scenario that I can remember in the finals where the Suns and Sixers. So could that be maybe the Suns and the Sixers? I don't know. The Celtics. Yeah, the Celtics and the Bucks was 70. Yeah, 74 was with Kareem Hook in Game 6. Kareem wins the Game 6 in 74. Yep, Kareem Hook from the corner won Game 6, and then they lose Game 7. That's when we see the first walk of shame with Oscar Robertson. Oh, that was 76. Yeah, okay. So 76, a replay of 76. And I want to say Havlicek was still with the team then in 76. So that could be, 76. Thank you, Lorenzo. Oh, thank you for helping me out there. Thank you for helping me out. Yep. So could we see that? Very, the history right there. Suns and the Sixers. We very well could see that. See how those teams are relevant now and contenders. Even the Warriors were contenders in the 70s also. Well, remember, the Warriors won it with Rick Barry. And then, my alumnus, Al Attles. Al Attles was, he won the championship with the Warriors. And remember, Al Attles won a championship with Will Chamberlain with the Warriors. So Al Attles won a championship. Were the Warriors or were they with 76ers? 67 team. Yeah, they might have still been the Warriors and Wilt won it. Or were they said no, they were still the Warriors. I want to say when they finally beat Bill Russell and them, and then they beat Nate Thurman and them in the 67, 68 team where they were 67-13. They set the winningest record. I think that was 67, 68 season. But I think it was the Warriors then. So Al Atlas won a championship as a player, and he won a championship as a coach. He won that championship with the Warriors. Because remember, the Warriors beat Alvin Hayes and Wes Unseld, and then the following year Wes Unseld and then won. And I don't quite remember who they won, but it's like and that's when the Washington Bullets won it with Big E, Alvin Hayes, and then Wes Unseld. And Phil Chenier, I want to say Phil Chenier was on that team. I think Kevin Longery was the coach. Lockery. Kevin Lockery might have been the coach now. So So yeah, CW, they're definitely relevant, and they're making them relevant again, and that's kind of how the ball bounces with them. That's kind of how they script it. They make the teams where the teams just are terrible for a long time, and then all of a sudden, trust the process. Is that trust the process? Don't shoot the 76ers out because the Sixers played in the finals in 77. They lost to the Blazers that finals, and this is the 77th season. Yeah, they lost to. Yeah, they lost to. Yes, they lost to Blazers. Yeah, and they really should have won it. That was that to me. That series. I've talked about that series more than any other series that made me see how fixed pro basketball was. Because if you look at the first 3 games, they handled that team easy. That's where you see Dr. J dunking on Bobby Gross, Dr. J dunking on Bill Walton. And then all of a sudden they win 4 games, 4 straight games. That they played that terrible. So that was the most unbelievable. That was the most, and even I was in 77, I was a little older, so hell, I had to been like in 10th grade. So I thought I was a little younger. But yeah, 77, 76, 77, I was in 10th grade. And my father was always like, there's no way. Like George McGinnis, in the 76, 77 season, before Dr. J came in there, he averaged something like 26 points a game. The next season when Dr. J comes, he only drops, as a matter of fact, he almost won the MVP his first year in the NBA when he left the Indiana Pacers. Dr. J comes, he only drops 1 point down. He's averaging 25 in the season. With Dr. J on that team, that loaded team, George McGinnis output only dropped, he averaged 25 points a game during the season. And then in the finals, those last 4 games, he averaged less than 10. And as I talked many times, he takes the final shot. They have the ball. And they're only down, I think, 1 or 2 with the ball. And the ball don't go to Dr. J. The ball goes to George McGinnis, who ain't did shit the whole series. The games they lost, he did not play. He did not play. So there's no way that you're going to give the ball to him. You're going to design a play for him the way he had played. So, yeah, the Warriors won in 75, their first championship being in the Bay Area. They won it in 75th season, even though it wasn't. There you go. Yeah, we talked about that Globetrotter book tells, where the other league, they try to take some years from that other league that started, the BAA started before the NBL. And so they try to take some of that time when they were NBA or BAA and not BL, the NBL, because that's where they get it. BAA, NBA, NBL mixed together and became the NBA. So we talked about that. 66th NBA. KD loses the 66 NBA Finals. KC becomes 1-3 all time. 11 years later, Suns can become 1-3 in the NBA Finals all time. He could end the season 100 playoff win. Outstanding. Thank you. Also, Philadelphia is 2-2-3 in gematria, and this year is 2-2-3. Thank you. Thank you guys for adding that. That is very outstanding. Very good work. I appreciate it. That is very outstanding work. I really appreciate it. So we'll see, and that's the thing, how we can make money off of them, and is looking at this as a, how do we counter what they are doing? How are we countering what they are doing? How do we figure out the script? And that's what we are putting together these last few weeks. And for those who want to bet, you look at it. And then those who just want to look at it as objectively. If those of you can look at it objectively and say, okay, I guess you do see the script. Like if you've watched the hockey game last night, that was the most ridiculous stuff in the world. They pulled the goalie at 3 minutes, and not one shot, not one block goes to the other way. It's only 6-on-5. They had just stopped the power play. So 6-on-5, they should clearly stop the power play. The team scores. And then in 10 seconds in overtime, the first time they have a rush, all of a sudden they lose everything after playing excellent. So we see that the TV, this was an instance because again, I think the championship game on the Frozen Four was on ESPN2. And we see a clear case where they want the game over. They do not want more advertisement, no more playing. They wanted that game over. And so they told their asses, get this shit over quick as possible. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. No one loses a game in 10 seconds when you've played so well. I don't care if it's 2-on-1 in what sport. It was still, I mean, it didn't look natural. Didn't look natural. I'd be shocked if Philly go to the finals. I think we've kicked it around. You see the new biopic to come out about the Knicks player from the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, Nate Sweetwater Clifton. Yeah, Nate Sweetwater Clifton. We're probably going to see it because that comes out, I think, this week. Remember, he was actually the first one that played. He wasn't the first one to sign. Two other dudes signed. The first dude who got drafted, that was a brother. He signed with the Celtics, and he signed a contract. And his name was Chuck something, but he never played. He never played. He got cut. I think the first two dudes, but the one dude signed before Sweetwater Clifton. And then Sweetwater Clifton, I think, was the first one to play in the modern NBA and not BAA or NBL. And remember, the Globetrotters were independent, but yet the Globetrotters played in the World Championships. Like the FIFA games, the Globetrotters played in all that stuff. The Globetrotters just didn't play in the Olympics because they were getting paid. But they were playing in on the FIFA games, the America's World Championships. And they beat, I think 3 out of 4 times, they beat Mike and the Lakers playing real basketball, not the tricks. So Chris Paul has the State Farm commercials. I forgot about that. They took a lot about, this is Lorenzo. The riddle could be the Philly teams losing championship games in Arizona to the State Farm guys. Patrick Mahomes and Chris Paul. Wow. That is hard. I'll just say, are they going to let a new team win in the NBA? I guess that's what it boils down to. And the answer usually is no. They're not going to let a new team. Are they going to break that this year? Could be. I think another key is if they do let them go by, new ownership, right? New ownership down there with the Suns. Is this the way they're rewarding new ownership with a finals? Very well could be. That felt good. I think about the Reds put the backup pitcher in the other night to mess up some sports betting. And I didn't get a chance to go to the game. I didn't get a chance to go to the game tonight because I'm gonna go and report because again it was opening nights for the St. Paul Saints and the AAA affiliates this year are using the computer umpire. The umpire behind the plate is only going to be the game manager. He is not calling balls and strikes. That will be all computer. So I didn't get to go to the game today. It is a series. I don't know if we're going to get the chance to go later in the week. But we'll catch some Saints games as well as I'm gonna catch some Twins games, and I'm gonna catch some Lynx games too. So when I have those, I'll report. My fiance wants to see Brittany Grimes play, so I imagine because the Phoenix women's team and the Lynx are in the Western Conference, so they're here. There's only 30 games, so they come here a couple times. So Eagles scored 35 for a reason, showing KD was coming to Arizona. Wow, that's a good one, CWE. Wow, thank you for adding that. So we'll see. We'll see what they have in store, and again, for those that take advantage of betting and stuff. We've won some money. I mean, the national championship game was easy to pick. I mean, if you just did the easy early pick and picked UConn, when the original odds came out, you won a little more money, and that's what most people did. Most people could see coming in that UConn was going to win. They played with these other teams to see which one they was going to let beat a Butler. Remember how they was letting Butler go? Butler was coming out of nowhere and win and in it. So we were seeing kind of the same thing. So that's what it is. It's about trying to let me see. Saw the commercial for the first thing I thought about was Jackie Robinson. Jackie wasn't the first so-called black to play. Right, exactly. It was Fleetwood, Mac Fleetwood, I think was his name, and his brother. Mac Fleetwood and his brother were the first really brothers to play in the National League in the 1800s. And so the same thing in the NBA. If you didn't just look it up, the first dude who actually signed a contract did not play, but it was another dude who signed a contract. He was a guard, and it was two other dudes. And then again, Sweetwater was the first to actually play. And Sweetwater played with the Knicks. It was also Chuck something that Celtics end up signing a brother early on too. I look up another dude named Ray Felix. He was one of the first 7-footers to play. A little bit before Bill Russell, but I heard in a thing that Bill Russell knocked Ray Felix out. And that's a name I know you ain't gonna never hear, but he was one of the first 7-footers to play in the NBA. Was Ray Felix. He was taller than Mikan. So you can look him up. Was Ray Felix the rookie of the year? I think that's why I know about him. He might have been rookie of the year like 52, 53, somewhere in there. But he was one of the first brothers that was a 7-footer in the league. Ray Felix was his name. Remember the State Farm commercial? Guys had championship games in 21. Mahomes won the year, and could Paul match? I don't know. As I've said before and made videos, he is such a lovable loser. I don't know. Sometimes they like keeping losers. That's the only thing I would hesitate on saying Phoenix, especially Paul. Now, will Paul win before James Harden and a team that has won it before in the Sixers? Could be. But again, as I've talked about every night, we've also got to look at, the Bill Russell dying. I mean, is that really, silently gonna put the Celtics in and replay of 76, Suns and Celtics, with the Celtics winning again. So that has to kind of be heavily weighed on too. It's like Bill Russell dying. So we'll see. And I say the long shot, Bill Russell, it played his college ball at San Francisco. I think Bill Russell grew up in California. Yeah. Bill Russell grew up in Compton, I think, because him and Frank Robinson went to school together, same school that Darryl Strawberry went to, or high school. I mean, a bunch of dudes came out of that high school. If you guys study that, look up where Bill Russell went to high school and Frank Robinson. So I don't know. He is just such the lovable loser. I don't know. Will they let him or will they let Harding? Like, we looked at the two dudes who they would let go through that's the lovable losers. I would say, I don't know. I think they would let Harding win before Chris Paul. Just looking at it, because Chris Paul has the commercials. And a lot of times when they have the commercials, they tend to hold him back. So we'll see. Big P, Paul will be 38. Wow. LeBron, LeBron's his goddad. Broke Kareem's scoring record at 38. Wow. That could be. Yeah. 38 years old, and he's only 6 foot. And I don't even know if Chris Paul's 6 foot, because what is his name? Came from the Jazz, went to Ohio State. That cat was taller than Chris Paul. I mean, not Michael Finley, but Michael, whatever his name, played with the big fella at Ohio State. That came from the Jazz, is now with the Timberwolves. He's listed as 6 foot, and he's taller than Chris Paul. So I don't know how tall Chris Paul is, and how is he still in the league at less than 6 foot? Not quick, not a great shooter. I mean, he should have been out the league. But as I've said before, they need people that can do the script. Now, will he be rewarded? I think his reward is the commercials. I really think so. I think his reward is commercial. I don't think he's going to go above the commercial rewards. So we'll see. Michael Conley. Thank you, PJ. Yeah, Michael Conley. Michael Conley listed as 6 foot or 6'1". Chris Paul listed as 6 foot. And you look at the two of them. So Chris Paul probably 5'10". I bet Alvin Iverson was taller than Chris Paul, and way better. I thought way better. Last year, Suns only played 13 playoff games and went 76 in the playoffs. Whoa, that might be indication. CWE, good work. Good work. Suns, if they win the finals this year, the record would be 1-3, 13. If they win the finals, it'd be 1-3. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they'll let them do it or not. But it's funny how it just up here with the weather changing, just so different. I don't know if you guys know the short story about. It's supposed to talk about being another planet, and on this other planet, it only and I think it was like the people on Mars, and on Mars it rains all the time. Is the story, and the one day where it stops raining, the bullies bully this one dude. They bully him, and he misses the hour or however long it is of no rain. And I forget the point of the damn story. But that's what it reminds me of here. It's like we are so not used to nice weather and being out. We had dinner outside today. We ordered some takeout and well, bring it over. We ordered some bring it over delivery, and we grubbed outside, you know. So that is how much we appreciate the outdoors. No comprendo say looking like the Celtics and Lakers. I don't know. It would be hard to justify the Lakers going that far. It would be very hard to justify them going that far. So that's my only pause on that is how they have a much better team, the Lakers, and they have a much younger team. There's no doubt about that. Man, as I've talked about the other night, you look at when they made that trade and got Vanderbilt, Beasley, and D'Lo. I mean, that made them a lot younger. And then they got the dude from Homie Chera, whatever his name is. They got him, so they're a lot younger. And Anthony Davis again is a lot younger than LeBron. So they're a lot younger, but can they dig out the barrel? I doubt it. We'll see. We'll see. So we'll see if that happens, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, very well could be the Celtics. Oh, all right. But could also be the Sixers year. So we'll see. We'll see which one they let go past because I'm not really. Right now, maybe we'll sit down. I don't know. I'll have to really do a little more thinking and do a little more watching some games and seeing if I guess when we see the play-in game, then we can kind of see the way the play-in game comes in. Because remember, the Timberwolves were only one game from making Timberwolves were only one game from making the Western Conference Finals. So now they could do this, have the Suns play the Celtics or Bucks in the finals. The NBA's name has been around for 74 years. The two teams played in 74 finals. Also, Suns' first finals was in 76. And the Suns were only 6 years old at the time. Remember? No, the Suns would have been 8 years old, 8 years, because the Suns came in 68. Connie Hawkins was their first draft pick. It was a coin flip, and Milwaukee won. Celtics lost, so Milwaukee got Kareem. The Celtics took Connie Hawkins. End of the season, 13th all-time points. Yeah, you did. You did put that on wax. I agree. You did put it on wax. It's funny, all the distractions, too. All the distractions we have to deal with. I mean, it's just so hard for people to, again, remember, the most powerful thing is you. This is, talked about this yesterday. And this is a little bit of the aftermath and kind of see what they're saying today. And here we go.
Killed during a weekend traffic stop. WCCO's David Schumann shares how they're being remembered.
We've seen so many people approach this memorial in tears. With only 4 full-time officers here in Chetek, they have a very tight bond with the community. Now that number is 3, and one woman told me it sure does not feel like Easter.
I'm feeling very emotional. This should not happen. Like, you see how loved she was, you know, and still is, never will be forgotten about.
Heartbreaking tragedy for Chetek, Wisconsin, and nearby Cameron, where a second memorial has come together. Investigators say an officer from each department was shot and killed during an exchange of gunfire at a traffic stop Saturday. The suspect later died too.
There is no routine traffic stop anymore.
Chetek's mayor knew the officer since she was a kid. He says their city is in shock.
The locals, they love our cops, you know. They're public servants, and to lose one of them, you know, it's like losing family.
The mayor says the officer worked with a therapy dog and spent a lot of time in Chetek's schools.
That's to build bridges with kids and with, you know, people who are traumatized. It's going to be a hard week for our kids.
Tammy wanted to pay her respects because she says when they would see each other around town, the officer was always kind and friendly and even helped her once in a professional capacity.
She came to my house when I had some problems. I never had to call the police before, and she was so comforting. She walked me through whatever. She was on my side.
I just trust that people will, you know, hold each other a little bit tighter. And for those who are praying people, they're praying.
Wisconsin's Department of Criminal Investigation is investigating this incident, and Chetek's mayor told me he expects they'll release the officers' names on Monday. Several tributes to both of them are already circulating social media. David Schuman, WCCO.
Man, these places are this city is super small. These towns, like once you leave the Twin Cities, some of these towns, you drive through them and it's these little bitty tiny towns. 500 people, 600 people, 700 people. I mean, it's just funny. Once you leave the Twin Cities, it's only, I think it's only 5 million people in the whole state, and 3.5 million people live in the Twin Cities. That just tells you this is not a very populated state. And as I said before, the reason why they brought so many foreigners here, Somalians and, well, Hmong, and then the Somalians is, again, for voting numbers. Give them bigger districts, more say in Washington to get more dollars. So, yeah. One more thing. This is the Blazers is the last active team that is not from Cali or Texas to win the championship. Yeah, Seattle won it in 79, but now they're OKC Thunder. But didn't KT start? Yeah, Lorenzo. He started with Seattle. Absolutely. He played, I think, 2 or 3 seasons with Seattle. You can get Seattle jerseys with Durant. But yeah, he started there. Good work. The holiday killing is tripping out. Yeah, these holiday killings, absolutely. Yeah. So AKC, yes, OKC used to be the Supersonics. And it's interesting to push because you talk to the players around the league, they love playing Seattle. Seattle just didn't have a new stadium, but they actually love, you know, it's from everything I hear about it, I've never been up there, but well, my brother lives up there, but everything I hear, it's, you know, the players like going up there. They like taking that trip up to Seattle. So surprising that the team left in the first place, especially, you know, you Seattle, even though it's a smaller market, it's a bigger market than OKC. So, but remember, the dude who bought the team was from OKC, so that's why it's there. NBA letting teams from California and Texas win out. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I don't know if y'all remember, like when Paul Pierce and them was in the league, it was a point where the West, even with Kobe, was looked as garbage. Do y'all remember that? Where the West, when LeBron and them when LeBron was fighting Garnett and Paul Pierce, and the West was looked at the garbage league, and that was when Kobe was out there. So all these people loving Kobe. Remember, Kobe's last years, if you think that last game Kobe played where he took, 50 shots and scored 60 points, if you thought that was anything more than a Globetrotter game, come on. His last game, he scored 61, but he's allowed to shoot 50 shots. So a lot of it it doesn't make sense. I know that, but I just seen if you see the coding. Yeah, absolutely. So it could be. It could be. That's a good one. Celtics might win this year because of Russell, and that's the biggest sacrifice of the year as far as the NBA. But again, Bud Grant dying, Felton Spencer dying. Felton Spencer went to Louisville, but Felton Spencer was the second overall #1 pick. Both of them dying this year. But I just don't know. And then this fight, like someone said with the fight with Rudy and them, it shows like, wow, it's interesting. Was it possibly staged? Because very well it could have been, because it's publicity. What they say, all publicity is good publicity. So could it be that? Because Rudy, it is just funny how they want to get rid of all the American big men, but they want to keep these foreign big men. And Rudy doesn't fit. Like, he's never fit. He never should have made the league. But again, it's this bringing the foreigners in to replace American people. So, so is this possible? It is. It's very possible. But I don't know how probable it is of how far the Timberwolves will go. This doesn't seem probable. Oh, it gets me more. Let me see. What gets me even more is that they have all them killings going on in the city, but no suspects. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. That is a good point. I mean, the same you see in other cities, all these killings, all these guns. And again, no one held responsible. I was trying to look here. A guy got killed last night here. I was trying to find it. Guy got shot and killed here last night, or they reported and they found him. He was shot. And so what is it about young people that make them hate each other so much? Because that's what we see. We see a lot of young people that just hate. And you think they're too young to experience so much hate. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't see. This was last night, so I don't see it coming up. But this was last night. It was a shooting. I saw it on the news before I came on. Forgot to mention it. Don't see it. Ain't coming up. What all them killing during the holidays? Ooh. Yeah, this is it too? Nope, doesn't talk about. Yeah, I'm not catching it. Not catching it. Let's see. But it was another shooting here, and it's just ridiculous. That people just openly just like it's nothing just to shoot people. Like over what? A lot of times it's over ego. I mean, it's not over turf, it's not over business, it's over bullshit. These people just shooting each other over ego. Yeah, don't see the news. So maybe it's further back than I thought, but I thought it was more recent, but oh well. Oh well. Huh. Yeah, let me see shit. Here's one. See if I can get this up. See what you guys think about this.
I do not.
No, I think it would be a big overreach.
I don't think that we're at the point where they need to step in and help regulate it.
I think a little bit of government involvement along with people and like the private sector would be nice.
I wouldn't necessarily say the government itself, but yes, they should be involved.
Keep the government out of regulating things. They regulate too many things already.
At this point, I can't see
on what they would base the regulations, and I can't see on what they would remove the restrictions, what they would use to bring the restrictions into place, and then what they would use, what rationale they would use to remove them. So I think it could become a mess that they can't get out of.
I think it just depends on the situation and, it's what it can and can't do.
I don't think that the government should interfere with where technology is headed, where AI is headed, until it starts interfering with our privacy.
I do think there should be laws and regulation that AI is bound by. Whether or not it's government oversight per se, like a committee, I think that's going to depend on how the technology advances.
Fair use, motherfuckers. Fair use.
Oversight. I don't know if the government is the most efficient way to do it, but there has to be some sort of board, maybe that would convene with sort of non-political or governmental officials. So maybe a combination.
This technology is going to affect all sorts of different parts of our lives, and those parts are likely to have different laws that are going to be impacted by AI.
With AI, I think we're at the very first steps where until we know what it's capable of, the government can't regulate an unknown entity.
So when you talk about whether or not the government is playing a role, really we're looking at laws and regulations. And AI is going to be something that's going to cover a lot of different areas of law, including copyright, trademark. It could cover estate planning and other things like that. So there's going to be laws that are already going to be affected by AI.
Let me mention, as I talk about all the time, behavior surplus that we give away freely.
AI. So for instance, if you have photographs of people and then you want to use AI to create a real person or a real video.
So just some thoughts that they want to put out there to confuse you, another distraction. Because they're already working that system. We know that they're already working that system. So just something to think about, y'all. Steelers, let me see. Senseless murders, yeah. Young man, 20-year-old, got murdered on the other side of my town at a gas station in broad daylight. Damn. This happened earlier this week. Damn. Double damn. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. It's like, and more than likely, this is kind of interesting. More than, it's like we hate each other. Excuse me. Gosh. So it's I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting. All that's going on around us. Let's see this. Oh, okay.
Once you meet with a TurboTax expert who will do.
Let's see. Yeah, this might be. Let's let this play. Turn that down. Let this play. This is a little interesting too. All right, here we go.
Car collided with a San Francisco Municipal Transit Authority bus on the 23rd of March. The crash was caused by a software error in a Cruise autonomous vehicle that inaccurately predicted the bus's movement. The company filed with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration on Friday to address concerns that the system may inaccurately predict the movement of articulated vehicles such as buses or tractor-trailers. Cruise said that the software update was released on the 25th of March and that the company determined the crash would not reoccur. Cruise in September recalled and updated the software in 80 self-driving vehicles after a June crash in San Francisco that left 2 people injured. The NHTSA last year said that the software could incorrectly predict an incoming vehicle's path. The agency opened a formal safety probe into the Cruise autonomous driving system in December. This after it received reports of incidents in which self-driving cruise vehicles may engage in inappropriately hard braking or become immobilized.
So the Maya's having troubles, y'all. The Maya's having troubles. They putting all these self-driving cars and they having troubles with them. So the system isn't far along as they think. So we can't. What do they say? No, 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 no. Can't trust it. We can't trust it, y'all. And just to remind y'all, I haven't got any donations on the Mirage, y'all. You know y'all want me to see me in a 2022 Mercury Mirage. I want these rims, y'all. So I need them donations. See, I could even get it in blue. Ooh. I could get it. I could get this style too. Ooh. 23, y'all. Come on, 23. I just need pennies a day. Just for pennies a day, I can be driving a Mitsubishi Mirage for 18 grand, even though it has this sorry CVT transmission. Ooh, candy apple. Look. Ooh, look, y'all. So for pennies a day, you could help me. So I don't see any donations. Where's the donations for the Mitsubishi Mirage? I'm just joking. Yeah, I know I'm just joking. Just some bullshit to talk about. It's just some bullshit to talk about, y'all. That's all. Just having fun. It's just having fun. There was one more thing that I did want to bring up. Where was it? Is it here? Might be. Nope, I talked about this and it ain't here. Yeah, I talked about that. Nope, that's not it. Here, kind of did talk about this. Nope. Guess we'll just talk about the Mitsubishi Mirage. Man, I don't even think I could fit in that car. That car's just so little. I'd be driving from the back seat. Y'all remember some movie where the motherfucker was driving from the back seat? That's how I'd be in a Mirage. I'd be driving from the back seat and stuff. Couldn't get no woman in a Mitsubishi Mirage. You couldn't get no, you'd pull up and it's like, I ain't going nowhere in this car. This car go, what, 60 miles an hour? It's got a 1.2 something engine. It's like a go-kart engine in the car. But these are just things to think about, y'all. That's all. It's just things to think about. And it makes you wonder, like, what is it about us melanated people that we can come in some instances and talk and get along on these social media platforms, but then when we go in the streets, we see that we hate each other. Like, how can it be so many social media platforms where the people get along and talk, but then when you get a lot of these young people, and remember, you know, we're like the crack babies as grandparents, and so we're like almost the grandparent. You know, we're seeing the children of people that really weren't raised, because that's a big part of what the drug war took away. It took men out of the neighborhoods, and then the people that had children, a lot of these people were addicts and really, you know, dysfunctional families. So we had 2 generations, maybe almost 3 generations of dysfunctional families. And so now when we wonder why these young people can be swayed so easily to be cold-blooded psychopaths, And then we have the entertainment business and, want to glorify all this music. Like, how is a cat like King Von glorified when he supposedly was a mass murderer, but yet he's glorified? And yet, if anybody, I guess this is some mural in Chicago, if they disrespect it, they want to kill the people over it. Why? Who is this dude? Who is this dude that would make an automatic response to make you be a psychopath? Someone else went to the mirror. I mean, what did they say a long time ago? You don't own any of those buildings. At least when Cabrini Green and all those, the Taylor homes was up there, at least there was some control by the gangs. Because after they shot that state trooper, they quit going up in them buildings. Them buildings was a trap for cops. They wasn't going up in there, even the housing authority people. So what is it now that they think that these blocks mean so much? That none of them own. None of them have any, hand, you handing over drugs on that? But these people talking about if they just go there, they get beat up. Or they get caught lacking. What is this? What is this where you just catch people and want to murder them? Because they're a different so-called gang. I mean, what makes you such a psychopath? What makes it that deadly? What makes it that deadly? I mean, is there a real war going on where you behind enemy lines? Because obviously these people go in these areas thinking I'm in America. But where's this so much hate for each other come from? And it has to come from divide and conquer. And how do you even get through to these people? Like, if you try to go to Chicago, as I said, I have a person that I grew up with. She's lived the last 30 years in Chicago. She's a piano bar player, her and her husband. So what do you think their life is in Chicago? And I've talked about this before. What do you think their life is in Chicago? Do you think it's this terror that these black people go through? And don't say it's just black folks, because I've got another friend. He's an engineer in Chicago. He's been to Chicago closer to 40 years. He went to Michigan. Well, he went to Western Michigan. Maybe he went to Michigan State. And then he's been in Chicago ever since. So damn near 40 years. Been in Chicago. Do you think his life, a guy my age, do you think his life is about all this murder and claiming this concrete? So it ain't, all this publicity about what's happening in Chicago. It's Chicagoans that don't know that life. It seems to be the young people that want to keep this going. As I said before, hopefully I can make a trip to Chicago. Hopefully I can take a weekend, talk to, one of the greatest poets in Chicago and introduce him to y'all because, he's the one that came up with the city of Israel. That's what he calls it, Chicago, the city of Israel. He's been shot at and can tell these stories. And then at times wanted to kill people. So what is it? What is it about our society? What is it that makes us so bloodthirsty? And it's like, what makes it where we couldn't even talk to these people and change their minds? I mean, what happened to all the truths that was supposed to have happened in, the late 90s? What happened to those truths? Those truths are gone? And as a lot of people say, you don't see the attacks on Europeans. You see us attacking us over and over again. Something that they started doing in the 70s and 80s. And they're still doing it, tricking you into killing each other, doing their genocide. And young people don't see it that way. I mean, you listen to some of these people, and it seems like it's almost expecting these young people to die. I've never heard of so many 15, 16, 17-year-olds dying. And then, they call some of these 15-year-olds killers. What makes a 15-year-old a psychopath? This King Von stuff talks about a young lady they killed, and she was supposedly a psychopath. Then she gets killed in a violent death. She's 15, 16. How? How does you become psychopath so young? And they tell some stories where to join gangs, you got to go out and kill somebody. How's that good business? And how often you letting new people join? Seems like that would even bring more heat on you. So that doesn't make sense. It's more sense of saying people getting beat up and shit, but actually saying you got to go out and kill somebody. And that's terrible business. That puts a lot of attention. And so it's not enough that we've got all the youth having such a problem, and then we look at these things about AI. We look at these things on the reality generator, the illusion of this reality. We have so many attacks on us, the food we eat, the air we breathe. So many fear programs. We coming out one of the greatest fear programs. And we still seeing people with the mask just to remind you fear is just around the corner. Because when you're out and about and you got 1,000 people not wearing the mask and 2 or 3 people wearing them, you know this can't be real. Why still? So that goes into, what's artificially generated, because it's a reminder that how fake things are. Because in the real world, everybody would abandon the mask. No need for them. But see, that's not how it works. The fear program has to keep that fear out there. It's around the corner. It can come back anytime. And you see, look at the whole world stage, even starting with Ronald Reagan, and they start putting these actors in this position. And then you look at the Ukraine situation, this proxy war, and you've got this actor over there that they're giving all this money to. And people look at Ukraine as, remember, Ukraine was a mafia state. Corruption, mafia, that the U.S. back with. And remember, they got Nazi sympathizers fighting that we're giving money to. And they talking about how much they hate the Nazis, but yet you got some of the Ukraine fighters with Nazi patches and stuff. And then lately, it's an article about their assessment got out there about the war. And we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to, break the economy of Russia. The same thing that happened to Russia before, that did break the USSR. Afghanistan broke up the USSR when Stinger missiles started dropping them $1 billion Bear helicopters. That changed the war. And that's the biggest reason why they got out of there. Look up the movie Charlie's War. Read the book, Charlie's War. And how Stinger missiles turned the tide in Afghanistan and broke the USSR where they couldn't afford it anymore. The iron grip they had. I'm forgetting what Winston Churchill called that shit. But it disappeared. And they're looking to try to do this again. And so we're being played. We have youth in the street asking for funds to set up social programs, to set up technical programs. There's no money for this, but yet there's money to send billions to the industrial complex in another country, which we know there's going to be Americans making money off this stuff. This stuff sent over there. The military industrial complex is in full swing. And it's a scam when they say taxpayer money is buying these arms. That's a scam. And yet they tell you they can't help you. But yet they can help those people over there, where each bomb costs so much money. And let's not forget all the equipment they left in Afghanistan. The amount of weapons, guns, small weapons, heavy machine guns. Now, some of that technical stuff, yeah, they ain't got the people to fix that shit. I mean, yeah, the Russians could come in and reverse engineer it, but some of that shit is antiquated, so that's why they left it. They don't care. It's antiquated. But the amount of small weapons that you give into the country got to be considered and got to be looked at as why. But that's how much and it goes to me. It's like, I love this land, but I hate this government. Because it tells you they can't help you, but they can help the rest of the world. But they can't set up trade schools, but they can help the rest of the world. It's like Michael Jordan, Oprah, all these melanated rich people can't help common people. That's part of their contracts. You can't do good to common people. It's one thing you can't do. You can't ever try to say you're going to use all your money to help the common people, melanated people. That's one thing they can never do. That's why you never see it. I mean, Michael Jordan even went to say, I ain't going to say who I vote for because both sides buy tennis shoes. I got to stay neutral. But, we love this land. I mean, when I walk outside here, the air is so fresh. I don't smell pollution. Even when it's cold here, the air is just so fresh here. Nothing like it. So, these are just some of my opinions, y'all. That's all. Just some of my opinions. And remember, guys, that your pennies could help me have a Mirage. I would be cruising. Look at this. 18,000, y'all. 18. I would be just super cruising. I would get some curve finders. I would get some mud flaps. Man, tint these windows. I would be cruising. Pennies a day, y'all. I could be in a Mitsubishi Mirage. Where's those donations? I need some donations for my Mirage, y'all. I want to put a Mirage in my garage. Help me put a Mirage in my garage. Oh, I'm definitely not going to make this a very long night. Man, I have not slept. I have not slept since, oh my goodness, I have not slept. So I'm not going to go terribly long. I need to get a little rest coming tomorrow. But I did want to come down, kick it with everybody. Yeah, it's not that late either. Oh yeah, I'll get some good rest tonight. Kind of running out of subjects, but just wanted to come on this Monday morning, and I will be on. Let's see, yeah, I come on Monday. Yeah, I don't go on Wednesday morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and maybe maybe in the afternoon, too. And we'll definitely break down. Well, we'll see. I might have to come in early Wednesday because of the playoff game happening Tuesday afternoon. So, yeah, I'm kind of running out of things to say. But again, you guys could help me get this right here. That is so funny. I couldn't even fit in that car. So, but I guess in closing, because I did go 4 hours, and I'm definitely not going to go 4 hours tonight. Again, remember, the greatest thing is you. Consciousness that was given to you was only given to you. And if you listen to me, you kind of know that your consciousness is more than what they want to tell you it is. And that's why there's so many distractions. And so if I can, keep anyone on, what your path is, your soul path, what your purpose is, what your guides, what your energy tells you to follow. Live. So if it's just one person that I get through, I appreciate that, because that's what it is. I don't know it all, but I know enough to live my truths and live my purpose. And so that means anybody can live their purpose. So I'm going to end it here. Because I'm getting a little tired.
Do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks. Boy, nigga, what, boy? Do it over time. Say that, nigga.
And what is the night without having our main man come on? Oh, that shit is so freaking funny.
I'm retired. I ain't got no cook left. But your lines are still open. Oh, shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it. Your goddamn money, nigga. Talk that talk to me and you ain't got a gun in your hand? Scatterman, please, now. Hey, come on, put the gun down, please,
man. Y'all know I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. This shit is just fun to me. You're going to be doing, I tell you, hey, Smokey getting a lot of traction. I might have to bust the move because he's getting a lot of traction, you know. Well, thank you for the support, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you for the ones that hung out and watched me for 4 hours last night, the marathon. So that's why I'm a little less tonight. But I still gave you an hour and a half of my time, my heartbeat, my breath. So I hope that's enough. So this is Big Pontiac coming at you from Big Eagle Mountain, Big Eagle Hill, excuse me. So the universal greeting till we meet again.